Everyone, welcome to Tech Talk Tuesdays. I'm Eddie Morales with Certification Partners, and I have a very special privilege and honor of bringing and introducing to you today Cedanio Bacon. Cedanio, thank you so much for joining us today and having a conversation.
Absolutely.
We're super excited to have him on for a number of different reasons. He's what I would call a CIW champion. This man has CIW in his title on LinkedIn. If you ever look him up, he is a big advocate for it. And, he also is someone who's growing in his career and just loves giving back to others as well. And so I'm excited to jump into a lot of these different topics. But so Daniel, let's just kind of start with your story.
Prior to me getting introduced to CIW from my college professor, Ms. B, at Manatee Technical College, I had some friends that I went to college with. And one of the things is one of my friends, Josh, he had a cousin at the time. This is like early 2000s, where he actually worked for Google. And, it was, Google was like, not like it is now, but it was very up and coming. So he was telling us like his background, what he does, and it kind of intrigued us to kind of get more involved on the technical aspect. So that led me to kind of take some courses and get my certifications and learn more about web development, because the World Wide Web was still growing. It's still like when you think of Tim Berners-Lee and all the web development accessibility guidelines and how it was evolved. I think it all started for me back in those conversations, but just going back to high school in the 90s. A lot of my classes had business applications 1 and 2. And at the time, the World Wide Web, Windows had came out in 95. I believe I was a sophomore in high school when it came out. So I actually evolved with the way technology and the World Wide Web evolved as a teen, right? And it just, that story, about Google and what Bill Gates and everybody was doing with the World Wide Web, it just really inspired me to get more involved. And it was an awesome experience as far as in my CIW experience, because I had an instructor that was from Moscow, Russia. She knew a lot about it. And one of the things that me and my peers and colleagues used to always ask Ms. B is like, how are we going to survive in this web development world, right? And she used to always tell us that, it's different nuances of building a website. Once you build a website, then there's maintenance, kind of like when you get a car registration, you have to have insurance for it. Like, so it's like the driver's license, you have to go take the driving course, the pass to be able to drive. Well, same thing when it comes to developing these websites. So just looking back on my career and where I've been since that time, like in the early 2000s, I would say that the value and the skills and the knowledge that really kind of like got me to really gravitate to the World Wide Web and technology and just being in tech. I have to start out by expressing my gratitude and my appreciation for the knowledge shared from my professors in college, especially Ms. B. And she taught me and educated me a lot on the certification partners certification. So, the friendships made, I'm thankful that I worked with such amazing teams throughout that period for like over like 10, 15 years now. We got a lot of work done together. Sometimes we have fun along the way, building all these different sites from national football players to small businesses, large businesses, established businesses, and just collaborating with my peers kind of enabled me to increase my expertise and knowledge and professionalism and that effectiveness on different teams, working with those impactful leaders over the last 15 years, kind of like really, gravitated to me to kind of like want to share my experiences and my knowledge, right? And I think that, being a proactive leader and provided me with those essential project management skills, like going through the certification process with CIW. You know, I still have all my books. I still have all my notes. I'm heavily involved with that type of stuff now in my career as a deployment lead, right? And just being on the different digital ops teams. I'm talking about, you know, started out in the advertising space, you know, after I had got my experience with developing websites for different organizations and national football players. And that kind of transitioned more into like, I want to know about the ads, right? Because, you know, web development, ads on the site, you know, you got the Facebook, you got LinkedIn, you got Twitter, you got Instagram now, you got all these different social media platforms that advertise. So got into the advertising space for a little while, for like 5.5 years. And then that kind of transitioned me to explore more. So then I got more into a project manager, technical analyst, data migration role, where we essentially migrate data from one legacy system, right, into SAP, which is where our personal information and our payroll at most organizations, they have these SAP systems where we're acquiring companies, migrating that data into our SAP system. So that was more like behind the scenes. And that's a high level, high advanced technology space to be in, because most of the guys that I work with, even my leaders in that space, are very, very, very technical. So, you know, those experiences, right, all those skill sets and being able to enable that customer value and success today were a part of these teams. And it all started with my CIW skills, the strategies that I attained to help me add value to those processes throughout my day-to-day, right? But I think ultimately, you know, CIW, it helped me by, you know, applying that knowledge, that information, those essential principles and base values for to being a professional and an entrepreneur. You know, it all started with having a positive attitude every day and embracing that and providing that incremental commitment to assure that, you know, all of my projects or all of my clients, you know, they were executed correctly. If we had any errors or roadblocks, we use those skills from CIW to eradicate those errors that plague our clients, to move forward and have a successful project. And that approach really helped our customers more effectively use our products and our value of service. So I just want to say thanks to the Certification Partners team and organization, because without CIW, I don't think my tech career would be more polished as it is today, right? So I mean, I'm just thankful, man, to have this opportunity to share my story, because, like, you know, I did some interviews in school with my teacher, Ms. B, my professor, my colleagues. Like, it was a great experience. Skills USA, I'm an alumni member. I've been an alumni member since 2009. So it's kind of like I still follow the Skills USA mantra and the success stories, and, you know, winning gold medals in entrepreneurship, competing against Ivy League and business schools during my tenure there up in Kansas City. That's where the champions competition at work all used to be and started from, right? And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm so energetic and positive when it comes to, you know, talking about CIW and Skills USA. I can't progress in my career without the two. You know, it just really just put me in a different realm, right? And I'm not bragging about, oh, you know, I think they're the best in the world. But I think that if you look at all the other success stories, if you look at other people's tech career and background, where it started from either a CIW certification, a Cisco certification, some type of Skills USA alumni program association and connection, right? And it's just like, it's a great thing. Really, really is a great thing.